Introduction. Picture a life where maintaining composure during tense moments feels effortless. Imagine navigating high-stakes situations, perhaps a heated argument or a workplace crisis, where you remain steady, thinking clearly instead of succumbing to knee-jerk impulses. This is the essence of the power of not reacting. How to control your emotions. A guide designed to equip you with the tools to master emotional intelligence, steer your responses deliberately, and stay grounded no matter the circumstances. Consider those times when anger or frustration has led you to say or do something you later wished you could take back. It's a universal experience. Emotions, when unchecked, can drive us to hasty actions with regrettable outcomes. But what if you could rewrite that script? What if, instead of being swept away by feelings, you could harness them, choosing responses that align with your deeper intentions? This book promises that such a skill is not only possible, but attainable, offering a transformative journey toward emotional mastery. Emotions are an intrinsic part of the human experience, coloring our perceptions and interactions. Yet when they seize control, they can derail us, leading to decisions that don't reflect our best selves. This book serves as a roadmap to identify the sparks that ignite emotional flare-ups and provides practical techniques to manage them with finesse. By learning to govern your reactions, you'll face life's challenges with poise, making choices that resonate with your authentic goals. The starting point lies in distinguishing between reacting and responding. A reaction is typically an instinctive, emotion-fueled snap judgment, like shouting in a moment of rage, while a response is a measured, intentional act, such as taking a deep breath and addressing the issue calmly. Through fostering self-awareness and mindfulness, this guide will teach you to shift from impulsive reactions to thoughtful responses, creating a buffer in stressful moments to act in ways that serve your higher purpose. Mindfulness, at its core, is the art of anchoring yourself in the present, observing your thoughts and emotions without letting them dominate. This book introduces straightforward mindfulness exercises you can weave into your daily routine, enhancing your ability to stay attuned to yourself and less swayed by fleeting feelings. Research from the American Psychological Association highlights that mindfulness can reduce stress by up to 30%, underscoring its value in emotional regulation. Another powerful tool explored here is breathing exercises. Stress often tightens our bodies and shortens our breath, amplifying anxiety. This guide offers step-by-step breathing techniques, such as diaphragmatic breathing, endorsed by the Mayo Clinic for its calming effects on the nervous system, to help you unwind, lower tension, and approach situations with clarity. By mastering these methods, you'll gain the composure needed to tackle obstacles head-on. The book also delves into the origins of our strongest emotional outbursts, often rooted in unresolved past experiences or buried wounds. For instance, a sharp reaction to criticism might trace back to childhood moments of rejection. By pinpointing these underlying triggers, perhaps through reflective journaling, a practice supported by studies in psychology today for its therapeutic benefits, you can confront and heal them, diminishing their influence over your present behavior. Real-life stories pepper the text, showcasing individuals who've triumphed over their emotional impulses. Take Sarah, a nurse who once snapped at colleagues under pressure, but through mindfulness, learned to pause and respond with kindness, improving her workplace harmony. These narratives illuminate the rewards of emotional control, from stronger relationships to sharper decision-making, inspiring you to apply these lessons yourself. As you embark on this path, remember that the capacity to regulate your emotions already lies within you. Mastering non-impulsive responses can unlock a life of serenity, clarity, and purpose. Welcome to the power of not reacting. How to control your emotions. A shared adventure toward wielding the strength that comes from emotional command. Imagine a world where anger doesn't dictate harsh words, where frustration doesn't cloud your judgment, or where sadness doesn't pull you under. This isn't about bottling up feelings, but understanding and channeling them wisely. We've all had moments of impulsive regret, snapping at a loved one or storming off in a huff, but this book offers a systematic approach to break that cycle, fostering calm amid chaos and empowering you to shape your emotional destiny. Chapter 1. Understanding emotional triggers. Have you ever wondered why a casual remark or a specific situation can instantly ignite feelings of anger, sadness, or unease. You're not alone in this curiosity. These sudden surges of emotion often arise from what psychologists call emotional triggers, unique catalysts that provoke intense, sometimes overpowering responses within us. Grasping what these triggers are and how they operate is your first step toward reclaiming control over your reactions. Emotional triggers are deeply personal, shaped by your individual history and beliefs. They might be tied to a single event, like a harsh criticism from a teacher that still echoes, or a recurring pattern such as feeling dismissed in conversations, which could trace back to being overlooked as a child. Take, for instance, a scenario where a co-worker's offhand comment about your work sparks a wave of insecurity. That reaction might not be about the comment itself, but a memory of being ridiculed in school. Or perhaps being ignored in a group discussion stirs up resentment, rooted in years of feeling unheard at home. These emotions don't always mirror the reality of the moment. They're more like shadows cast by past experiences. Recognizing this distinction can be liberating. It shifts your perspective. You're not overreacting to the present, but responding to an old wound. This insight isn't about pointing fingers at others. It's about exploring your own emotional terrain, understanding what lights the fuse, and learning to handle it with care. Your default response to these triggers is often automatic, a reflex honed over time. It's that split-second choice, yelling, shutting down, or deflecting blame, that kicks in before you've had a chance to think. These ingrained habits aren't inherently positive or negative. They're simply your brain's go-to when faced with stress or conflict. The good news, they're not set in stone. Change begins with awareness. Ask yourself, what's my typical reaction? Do I flare up with anger, withdraw into silence, try to please everyone, or shift responsibility onto others? There's no judgment here, just observation. These patterns likely developed as coping mechanisms, perhaps shielding you from hurt or rejection in the past. But by identifying them, you open the door to reshaping them. To uncover your default response, take a moment for self-reflection. Think back to times when your emotions ran high, maybe a disagreement with a friend or a stressful day at work. What did you do instinctively? Did you raise your voice, retreat inward, or let tears flow? Don't criticize yourself for these reactions. They're part of your story, not your character. The goal is clarity, not condemnation. Understanding how you've responded historically gives you a baseline to work from. It's like mapping a route. You need to know where you're starting to chart a new path. This self-knowledge is a vital piece of the puzzle in mastering non-reaction, empowering you to choose responses that align with who you want to be, rather than being swept away by what you've always done. Chapter 2. Recognizing the physiological response. As you deepen your exploration of emotional control, you'll start to notice the physical sensations that accompany your feelings, offering a window into the automatic processes at play. These bodily signals, perhaps a racing pulse, a tightening chest, or a queasy stomach, are more than mere side effects. They're your body's way of alerting you to an emotional shift. Understanding these physiological responses is crucial because they often precede or amplify your reactions, shaping how you experience and express emotions. Far from being random, these sensations are your system's natural response to perceived threats or stresses, rooted in the ancient fight-or-flight mechanism that once kept our ancestors alive. Today, they still kick in, whether you're facing a looming deadline or a tense conversation. Learning to recognize these physical cues is like deciphering a personal code, a language of self-awareness that reveals what's stirring beneath the surface. At first, it might feel tricky to connect the dots between a clenched jaw and anger, or shallow breaths and anxiety. That's perfectly normal. It's a skill that develops with time and patience. Don't let early struggles discourage you. Stay curious and gentle with yourself as you tune in. The reward is worth it. By understanding your body's signals, you gain a powerful tool to manage your reactions more effectively. This isn't about judging yourself for feeling a certain way. It's about observing with an open mind, gathering insights that help you navigate emotional waves with greater ease. As you grow more attuned to these responses, you'll uncover a richer awareness that's both illuminating and empowering. A pounding heart, for example, might not always mean fear. It could signal excitement or anticipation, depending on the context. That knot in your stomach, It might not just be dread, it could be the flutter of nervous energy before a big moment. These nuances matter. The more you practice noticing, the more you'll see that your body's reactions are a dialogue, not a monologue. They're clues to what's happening emotionally, giving you a heads up so you can choose how to proceed. This heightened sensitivity can transform how you handle challenges, turning a once overwhelming rush into a manageable signal. Consider how stress affects your breathing. Short, rapid inhales that fuel a cycle of tension, or how anger might tighten your shoulders, priming you for a sharp retort. These are your body's attempts to prepare you, but they can cloud your judgment if left unchecked. By spotting these signs early, say the moment your palms start to sweat, you can intervene before emotions take over. This recognition phase is about building a bridge between mind and body, not fixing something broken. It's a process of discovery, like learning to read the weather before a storm hits. With practice, you'll not only identify these signals, but also use them as a compass, guiding you toward calmer, more deliberate responses in any situation. Chapter 3. Creating a pause button. Mastering your emotional reactions hinges on a powerful yet simple tool, the mental pause button. This isn't a tangible switch you can flick, but a deliberate mental practice you can shape and wield to interrupt the rush of thoughts or feelings that might otherwise lead to hasty, unconsidered actions. Think of it as an internal stop sign, a vivid signal that flashes in your mind when emotions start to surge, urging you to halt, breathe, and reassess before proceeding. It's a straightforward idea, but putting it into action can feel daunting, especially when anger or stress flares up fast. Don't let initial difficulties deter you. Like any skill, this one grows stronger with persistence and effort, offering you a lifeline to regain control in heated moments. When you first try using this pause button, you might only catch yourself after you've already reacted, maybe after a sharp word slips out or a door slams shut. That's a natural starting point, not a failure. The key is that you're noticing, reflecting, and beginning to question your automatic responses. Over time, with consistent practice, you'll sharpen your ability to hit pause before the reaction takes hold. Imagine you're in a tense exchange, someone criticizes you and your pulse quickens. Instead of firing back, you visualize that stop sign, take a moment, and let the initial wave of defensiveness settle. This brief intermission creates space for choice, letting you respond in a way that aligns with your values rather than your raw emotions. Breathing techniques can be your ally in making this pause effective, grounding both your mind and body when you're teetering on the edge of a reaction. This isn't some mystical trick, it's physiology at work. Your breath is a direct line to your nervous system, and adjusting it can shift your emotional state from chaotic to calm. One method to try is the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 7 seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. This rhythm floods your system with oxygen, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the part that dials down stress and promotes relaxation. It's a portable tool, usable anywhere, from a stressful meeting to a family spat. When you're emotionally charged, your body often slips into survival mode. Breathing turns quick and shallow, heart rate spikes, and clarity fades. This fight-or-flight response, a relic of our evolutionary past, once helped us flee predators. Now, it can hijack your judgment in everyday conflicts. By intentionally slowing your breath, you counteract these effects, cooling the physical fire that fuels impulsive reactions. The more you practice, the more instinctive it becomes, like muscle memory for your mind. Picture yourself feeling the sting of frustration. You pause, breathe through the 4-7-8 cycle, and suddenly, the urge to snap weakens. You're back in the driver's seat, able to think clearly and choose your next move. This pause and breathe approach isn't just a quick fix. It's a foundational step toward emotional mastery. It's not about denying what you feel, but giving yourself the power to handle it wisely. Next time irritation or hurt bubbles up, maybe a friend cancels plans or a coworker overlooks your input, try it. Stop, breathe, and reclaim your calm. It's a small act with big impact, rewiring how you engage with the world. With each use, you're building a habit that strengthens your ability to respond thoughtfully, not react recklessly, unlocking the profound strength that lies in deliberate non-reaction. Chapter 4. Mindfulness in Everyday Life. Bringing mindfulness into your daily routine can fundamentally change how you handle life's highs and lows, making it an essential practice for mastering emotional control. This isn't just about sitting in meditation or stretching on a yoga mat. It's about anchoring yourself in the present moment, fully aware of your thoughts and feelings without letting them judge or overwhelm you. Take a simple conversation, for example. Are you truly listening to the other person, absorbing their words and tone, or are you mentally rehearsing your next point? By focusing wholly on what's being said, you're engaging in mindfulness. This shift from distracted multitasking to intentional presence lets you respond with care and insight rather than firing off an impulsive reply that might spark tension. This mindful approach pays dividends beyond dialogue. Picture yourself eating a meal. Instead of shoveling food down while scrolling your phone, slow down and savor each bite. The crunch of a vegetable, the warmth of a spice, the aroma wafting up. This not only heightens your enjoyment, but also supports your body's digestion, curbing the urge to overeat that often comes with mindless habits. Science backs this up. Studies show that mindful eating can regulate appetite and reduce stress-related snacking. The same principle applies to mundane tasks like washing dishes or brushing your teeth. Feel the sudsy water sliding over your hands, the bristles scrubbing your gums, or the rhythm of your steps as you walk. These small acts tether you to the now, quieting the mental chatter that fuels reactivity. Mindfulness isn't about escaping reality, it's about engaging with it more fully. When your mind drifts to yesterday's argument or tomorrow's worries, you're more likely to snap at a minor annoyance, like a spilled coffee or a slow driver. Staying present cuts through that noise, offering a calm that steadies your emotional compass. It's not a one-time fix, but a habit you build like strengthening a muscle. Start small. During your morning routine, focus on the sensation of warm water in the shower or the scent of your soap. Over time, this awareness becomes second nature, reducing the knee-jerk responses that once threw you off balance. This practice also softens how you handle external pressures. Imagine a co-worker's sharp comment that might once have sparked anger. With mindfulness, you notice the sting. Acknowledge it and let it pass without lashing back. You're not suppressing the feeling. You're choosing not to let it dictate your actions. Research highlights that regular mindfulness lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, enhancing your resilience to daily irritants. It's a subtle shift with profound effects. Better relationships, less stress, and a clearer mind. By rooting yourself in the moment, you create a buffer against emotional turbulence, turning routine activities into opportunities for peace and self-mastery. Chapter 5. Developing self-awareness skills. Building on the foundation of mindfulness, honing your self-awareness skills becomes a vital step in managing your emotional reactions and fostering a more balanced existence. This process involves stepping into the role of an observer of your own inner world, your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, without harsh critique or condemnation. It's a gentle, compassionate exploration of what drives you, not a quest to fix flaws. As you practice this, you'll begin to spot patterns in your responses. Maybe you snap when exhaustion sets in after a long day, or perhaps anxiety creeps up when your stomach's growling. These revelations are like windows into your habits, offering chances to understand what sparks your emotions and craft responses that keep you steady. Self-awareness isn't about stifling your reactions, but navigating them with greater skill. It's like holding a map of your emotional landscape. Knowing the terrain helps you avoid pitfalls. This also means taking stock of your strengths and weaknesses with honesty. It takes guts to face your limits, whether it's impatience in traffic or a tendency to overthink. Yet this vulnerability is where growth begins. Acknowledging that you're not perfect, that you might struggle with saying no or holding grudges, frees you to work on those areas. It's not a sign of defeat, but a launchpad for becoming a more centered version of yourself, capable of handling life's curveballs with grace. This journey of self-discovery isn't a quick sprint. It's a skill that demands practice, much like learning an instrument or a sport. At times, it might feel daunting. Peeling back layers of your psyche can stir discomfort. But the payoff is immense. You'll uncover why certain situations hit you harder than others, like why a friend's cancellation stings more when you're already stretched thin. Studies suggest that self-awareness boosts emotional intelligence, improving decision-making and relationships. It's not about reaching a finish line, but embracing an ongoing process that deepens your understanding of who you are and how you tick. Sometimes an outside perspective can accelerate this growth. Talking with a trusted confidant, be it a counselor, coach, or wise friend, can shine a light on blind spots you might miss. They offer a mirror, reflecting your patterns with empathy and objectivity. For instance, they might point out how you deflect stress with humor, a habit you hadn't clocked. This isn't about outsourcing your work. It's about enriching your self-view with fresh insights. Whether solo or with support, developing self-awareness equips you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, turning emotional triggers into opportunities for balance and growth. Labeling and accepting your emotions is a key piece of this puzzle. It's not just about naming what you feel, anger, sadness, excitement, but embracing those feelings, even the messy ones, as valid parts of your experience. Start by catching emotions as they arise. Are you tense, irritated, overwhelmed? Don't brush them aside, call them out, maybe even whisper them to yourself or scribble them down. This act creates a mental gap, letting you watch the emotion rather than drown in it. Acceptance comes next, but it's not about giving up. It's recognizing that these feelings signal something about your surroundings, your needs, or your past, without demanding you act on them right away. This process takes time to master, but it's transformative. Say you're fuming after a coworker's jab, naming it, I'm angry, and accepting it. This is how I feel, and that's okay. Diffuses its grip. You're not obligated to yell or stew. You can feel it, understand it, and let it ebb. Research shows this reduces emotional intensity, giving you room to choose your next step. It's like taming a wild horse. You don't banish it, you learn to ride it. With practice, this skill fosters profound growth, strengthening your ability to stay composed and in control, a cornerstone of not reacting rashly. Chapter 6. Reframing negative thoughts. Once you've grasped the art of labeling and accepting your emotions, the next vital skill to cultivate is reframing negative thoughts, a mental exercise that empowers you to swap out pessimistic or harmful interpretations for ones that are constructive or neutral. This isn't about plastering a fake smile over reality. It's about consciously shifting your lens to view situations in a way that lifts you up rather than drags you down. Imagine you're stuck in a traffic jam, late for an important meeting. Your mind might spiral into frustration. This always happens to me, I'm cursed with the worst luck. That's a negative thought pattern, one that can snowball into stress and self-doubt. Reframing flips the script. This delay gives me a moment to unwind and enjoy some music before I dive into work. It's a subtle tweak with a big impact. Reframing doesn't deny the facts. Traffic is still traffic, but it broadens your perspective, inviting you to see beyond the immediate irritation. It's like adjusting a camera's focus. The scene doesn't change, but what you highlight does. Negativity can box you in, sapping your energy and dimming your joy, often making mountains out of molehills. Studies in cognitive psychology show that chronic negative thinking fuels anxiety and even affects physical health, raising cortisol levels. By reframing, you're not just altering your thoughts, you're rewiring your emotional response. That traffic jam becomes less a personal attack and more a chance to breathe, loosening the grip of frustration before it festers. This skill hinges on choice. You can't control the world, but you can steer your mind. Consider a colleague's critique that stings. They think I'm incompetent. Left unchecked, that thought could breed resentment. Reframing it. They're pointing out something I can improve, turns a jab into a stepping stone. It's liberating to realize that how you interpret events shapes your reality more than the events themselves. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a deliberate act of reclaiming power over your inner narrative. Neuroscience backs this up. Reframing activates the prefrontal cortex, the brain's reasoning hub, dampening the amygdala's emotional alarm system. Practicing this takes effort, especially when emotions run high. Say you miss a deadline and your gut reaction is, I'm a failure. Pause, breathe, and reframe. This is a hiccup, not my whole story. I'll learn from it. It's not instant magic. It's a muscle you build, Over time, you'll notice how negativity loses its edge, no longer dictating your mood or actions. Reframing isn't about ignoring life's lows, but meeting them with a mindset that serves you. It's a cornerstone of emotional freedom, letting you release what's beyond your grasp, external chaos, and master what's within it, your thoughts and feelings. This shift can transform your well-being, proving that the strength of non-reaction lies in how you choose to see the world. Chapter 7. Practicing empathy and compassion. While reframing negative thoughts gives you mastery over your own emotional landscape, extending that control outward through empathy and compassion deepens your ability to connect with others meaningfully. These twin strengths, understanding someone's feelings and wanting to ease their struggles, are pillars of emotional intelligence, bridges that link your inner calm to healthier interactions. Empathy isn't something you're born with fully formed. It's a skill you can nurture like training a muscle. Begin by truly listening when someone opens up. Don't just catch the words, tune into the emotions beneath them, the quiver in their voice or the weight of their silence. Acknowledge those feelings, even if they differ from your own, because it's not about you. It's about stepping into their world. Compassion takes this a step further. It's not enough to grasp someone's pain. It's the urge to lighten it that defines this quality. Picture a friend venting about a tough day. Empathy lets you feel their frustration. Compassion prompts you to offer a kind word or a helping hand. To grow this, imagine yourself in their shoes, not just skimming the surface, but diving into what it's like to carry their burdens, joys, or fears. Studies show that practicing compassion boosts oxytocin, the bonding hormone, fostering warmth and reducing stress for both giver and receiver. It's a ripple effect. Your calm response can soothe their storm, reinforcing your own emotional steadiness. This isn't about taking on their problems as your own. You're not their fixer. Your role is to understand, validate, and share in their experience without losing your balance. Say a coworker snaps at you, clearly frazzled. Instead of bristling, listen for the strain behind their word and respond with patience. Sounds like you're under a lot right now. That shift, from reaction to reflection, keeps you grounded and diffuses tension. It's not a surrender of your feelings, but a choice to prioritize connection over conflict. Research highlights that empathetic responses lower aggression in heated exchanges, turning potential clashes into moments of understanding. Practicing empathy and compassion reshapes how you navigate emotional situations, both yours and theirs. Imagine a family member unloading their worries. Rather than cutting in with advice, you nod, feel their anxiety and say, "That must be really heavy." This doesn't solve their issue, but it builds trust and keeps you from reacting out of impatience. Over time, this habit strengthens your emotional control, softening knee-jerk impulses into thoughtful responses. It's a quiet power. By seeing through another's eyes and caring enough to respond with kindness, you not only uplift them but also anchor yourself, proving that non-reaction can be an act of profound strength. Chapter 8. Taking responsibility for reactions. As you progress on your path to emotional intelligence, owning your reactions emerges as a pivotal step, empowering you to shape not just what you feel, but how you express it. This means recognizing that you, not the situation, not the person who sparked your emotions, hold the reins of your responses. It's a game changer, a shift that roots your stability in your own hands, rather than leaving it at the mercy of external triggers. Reflect on your usual reactions. When stress hits, do you lash out, clam up, or deflect? Are these patterns working for you, or do they leave a trail of regret? Often we act on autopilot, driven by instinct or old habits, without pausing to weigh whether our response builds us up or tears us down. Taking charge starts with this truth. You have the power to rewrite those scripts. It's not about bottling up your emotions. Anger at a rude comment or sadness over a loss is real and valid. Instead, it's about feeling them fully, processing them, and then choosing how to let them out. Picture a moment of frustration. Say, a friend cancels plans last minute. Your gut might push you to snap, "You're so unreliable," but responsibility means pausing, feeling the sting and opting for, "I was really looking forward to this, can we reschedule?" That gap between impulse and action is where your strength lies. Studies in behavioral psychology show that this intentional pause boosts self-regulation, cutting down on impulsive outbursts that fuel conflict. This doesn't mean ignoring consequences. If your reaction, say a sharp word in a heated moment, hurts someone, owning it fully includes making things right. Maybe it's an apology, a gesture, or a promise to do better. This isn't just about repairing relationships. It's a commitment to your own growth. Think of a time you overreacted, perhaps yelling at a partner during a stressful day. Afterward, you might feel guilt gnawing at you. Taking responsibility means facing that, saying, "I shouldn't have raised my voice, I'll work on that," and following through. It's humbling, but it reinforces your control, turning a misstep into a lesson rather than a lingering wound. This journey isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You won't always catch yourself mid-reaction, especially early on. Maybe you snap before you stop, but even then you can own it after the fact. Reflect, adjust, and try again. It's like training a muscle. Each effort builds your ability to choose patience over frustration, understanding over judgment. Research suggests that accepting accountability for your actions enhances emotional resilience, helping you bounce back from setbacks with clarity. By claiming your reactions as yours to shape, you align them with your deeper values: peace, respect, growth, unlocking a steady strength that defines the power of not reacting rashly. Chapter 9. Building emotional resilience. Crafting emotional resilience equips you with a shield against life's inevitable trials, requiring a profound grasp of your feelings and a resolve to move through them rather than sidestep them. It's about forging a robust inner strength. Think of it as an emotional immune system that can weather stress, setbacks, and adversity without breaking. This capacity to recover from tough moments isn't just a luxury, it's essential for safeguarding your mental health and nurturing your overall well-being. Resilience doesn't mean dodging your emotions or pretending they don't exist. Quite the opposite. It's about facing them head-on, tracing their roots, and learning to manage them with skill, like a sailor steering through choppy seas. Start by understanding that resilience isn't a wall against feelings, it's a bridge over them. You can't stop the waves of disappointment or frustration from crashing in. A missed promotion or a falling out with a friend will sting. But you can choose how to ride them out. This begins with acceptance. Your emotions have a source, whether it's a fresh wound or an old scar. Maybe a harsh critique at work echoes a past failure, amplifying the hurt. Recognizing this lets you process it, not bury it. Experts say this approach, acknowledging rather than suppressing, cuts the risk of burnout, keeping your mind flexible and strong. You're not at the mercy of the storm, you're learning to sail it. Flexibility is another cornerstone here. Life rarely follows your script. Plans unravel, people disappoint, and surprises lurk around every corner. Resilience shines in how you adapt. Can you pivot when a project flops, finding a new angle instead of stewing in defeat? Can you thrive despite a curveball, like a sudden move or a health scare? It's not about liking the change, but rolling with it. Think of bamboo in a gale. It bends, not breaks. Studies show that adaptable people handle stress better, their brains rewiring to see detours as chances to grow. This mindset doesn't erase the hardship, it reframes it, letting you find footing even when the ground shifts. A positive outlook seals this resilience, but it's not blind cheeriness. You don't have to grin through a crisis, you just need to hold onto a thread of hope. Faced with a loss, say a job or a loved one, it's natural to grieve. Resilience means feeling that pain while trusting you'll emerge, maybe not unchanged but intact. It's focusing on what you can shape, your attitude, your next step, and releasing what you can't, like others' choices or random misfortune. Research links this optimism to lower anxiety levels as it shifts your energy from despair to possibility. Building this strength is a daily act. Face the tough stuff, bend with it, and keep believing in your capacity to rise. That's the quiet power of enduring, not just surviving. Chapter 10. Learning to forgive. Quickly. Strengthening your emotional resilience relies heavily on mastering the art of swift forgiveness, a challenging yet profoundly freeing skill that can lighten your load and boost your inner peace. This isn't about brushing off wrongs or pretending they didn't cut deep. It's about releasing yourself from the anchor of resentment and anger that drags you down. Holding on to grudges doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It binds you to a cycle of bitterness, turning your mind into a churn of negativity that saps your energy and focus. Picture a slight from a friend, maybe a broken promise. Clinging to it might feel justified, but it's you who carries the weight, replaying the hurt while they move on. Forgiveness, though, flips that dynamic. It's not for their benefit, it's for your own sanity. When you let go, you reclaim control, unshackling yourself from emotional baggage. Start by facing the pain head-on. Say a coworker takes credit for your idea, and it stings. Acknowledge that hurt. It's real and it's okay to feel it. Don't let it fester, though. Reflect on it with clear eyes. Was it intentional? Does stewing over it change anything? Probably not. Ask yourself, is this grudge worth my peace? Then decide to release it. It's not a snap of the fingers, it's a conscious choice, often gradual, like loosening a tight grip one finger at a time. This process isn't instant because emotions don't bend on command. A betrayal, say a partner's harsh words, might linger, and that's human. Remind yourself that everyone stumbles, including you. Maybe you've snapped at someone in a bad moment too. This isn't excusing the act, it's seeing the bigger picture. Studies show that forgiveness lowers stress hormones like cortisol, easing physical tension and boosting mood. It's a gift you give yourself, freedom from reliving the offense. Practice it by starting small. Forgive a minor slight, like a stranger cutting in line, and feel the relief. Over time, it gets easier, even with bigger wounds. Empathy fuels this shift. Try seeing the other side. That coworker might be scrambling to prove themselves, driven by insecurity, not malice. Step into their shoes, not to justify, but to understand. This doesn't erase the hurt, but it softens its edges, making letting go feel less like a loss and more like a win. Imagine the energy you'd reclaim by dropping a years-old slight from a sibling. Energy for joy, not rancor. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's strength, a deliberate act of self-liberation. Mastering it quickly builds a resilience that keeps you steady, proving that non-reaction can heal as much as it protects. Chapter 11. Letting go of ego and pride. Peeling away the layers of ego and pride can reshape your emotional world, opening you up to greater empathy, resilience, and connection with others. These traits often act like a shield, guarding you against perceived slights or vulnerabilities. Think of pride swelling when someone questions your work, or ego flaring when you're proven wrong. But while they might protect you in the moment, they can also wall you off, blocking honest self-reflection and deeper bonds. Letting them go isn't about diminishing your worth or capabilities. It's about finding a truer, more balanced view of yourself in the tapestry of life. It's admitting you're not flawless, and that's not a flaw, it's a strength. This shift starts with awareness. Notice when ego or pride takes the wheel. Are you digging in during an argument, refusing to budge even when you suspect you're off base? Do you bristle at feedback, hearing it as an attack rather than a chance to grow? Maybe you chase the last word in a debate, not because it matters, but because losing feels unbearable. These are signs your ego's steering, defending an image rather than seeking truth. Picture a time you snapped at a suggestion from a colleague, only to later realize they had a point. That sting of being wrong is ego's grip, and loosening it begins with catching it in action. Humility is your tool here, not groveling or shrinking, but grounding yourself in reality. You matter, your voice counts, but so does everyone else's. It's like stepping off a pedestal you didn't need to climb. Say a friend outshines you in a shared hobby. Pride might whisper, "I should be better." Humility answers, "Good for them, I can learn something." Research ties humility to lower stress and stronger relationships. It quiets the need to prove yourself, freeing you to listen and grow. It's not meekness, it's confidence that doesn't need a megaphone. You're human, fallible, and that's okay. Empathy ties this together. Put yourself in another's place, say, a sibling who snapped at you. Maybe they're wrestling with a tough day, not targeting you. Seeing their angle doesn't mean you're soft, it means you're secure enough to drop the armor. This openness softens defensiveness, making you less reactive. Letting go of ego and pride isn't a one-off, it's a lifelong dance of patience and willingness to evolve. The payoff? Richer connections, sharper self-control, and a resilience that thrives on truth, not illusion. It's a quiet revolution, proving that strength often lies in what you release, not what you cling to. Chapter 12, Cultivating Gratitude Daily. On your quest for emotional calm, weaving gratitude into your everyday life becomes a priceless practice that can radically brighten your perspective. It's more than just muttering thanks when things go right. It's a deep, felt appreciation for both the big wins and small joys that color your days. This mindset acts like a shield, softening the blow of negative emotions and steadying your reactions when life gets rocky. Gratitude doesn't mean turning a blind eye to hardship. It's about striking a balance, seeing that even in tough times, there's something worth valuing. A flat tire might sour your morning, but spotting the kindness of a stranger who stops to help can shift your focus from frustration to warmth. When challenges hit, gratitude offers a lifeline. Say a project at work flops. Your instinct might be to spiral into self-blame or anger. Instead, hunt for a silver lining. Maybe you're grateful for a team that rallied to fix it, or the lesson it taught you about planning. This isn't Pollyanna optimism. It's a deliberate choice to spotlight what's still good amid the mess. Research shows that daily gratitude lowers depression and boosts resilience, rewiring your brain to notice abundance over scarcity. It's like tuning a radio. Static still exists, but you dial into the clear signal. This shift can calm your nerves, making you less likely to snap when stress mounts. Making gratitude a habit takes intention. Try keeping a journal. Each night, jot down 3 things that sparked thanks that day. It could be a warm meal, a friend's laugh, or even the quiet of a rainy afternoon. At first, it might feel forced, especially on rough days, but stick with it. Over weeks, you'll catch yourself spotting positives without trying. Your mind learns to hunt for light. Studies suggest this practice boosts dopamine, the feel-good chemical, subtly lifting your baseline mood. It's not just words on paper, it's a slow reshape of how you see the world, tilting you toward hope instead of dwelling on what's broken. This isn't about ignoring the dark patches. Life's not all sunshine. A loved one's illness or a financial hit can weigh heavy, and gratitude doesn't erase that. But it might remind you of the support you've got, or the strength you've found in yourself. Say you're stuck in a downpour without an umbrella. Gratitude might nudge you to appreciate the coolness on your skin instead of cursing the wet shoes. It's a quiet power, building a buffer against knee-jerk gloom. With time, this daily act becomes a lens, softening your edges and grounding you in a steadiness that curbs rash reactions, proving that what you focus on shapes how you feel. Chapter 13, Improving Communication Skills. Honing your ability to communicate effectively can significantly bolster your emotional steadiness and nurture stronger, healthier relationships, an essential skill that's not innate but cultivated through effort and awareness. It's a blend of listening, expressing, and aligning your words with your intent, all while keeping your reactions in check. The bedrock of this is active listening. When someone speaks, are you fully present, soaking in their message, or just biding time to jump in? Truly hearing them, catching the hesitation in their tone or the weight behind a phrase, shows respect and sets the stage for real dialogue. It's not just politeness, it's a bridge to understanding that keeps you from firing off a hasty retort. Expressing yourself is just as crucial, and it's about clarity with a steady hand, not aggression. Say you're upset with a friend's lateness. Aggression might snap, "You're always late, it's rude." Assertiveness, though, stands firm without trampling. "I feel sidelined when you're late. Can we work on this?" The difference is stark. Assertiveness honors your needs without dismissing theirs. Words carry power. A harsh tone can escalate a spat, while a measured one can soothe it. Research shows assertive communication reduces conflict and builds trust, as it balances honesty with care. It's not about winning, it's about connecting, keeping your emotions from hijacking the exchange. Your body speaks too, often louder than your voice. A crossed arm, a furrowed brow, or a flat tone can scream frustration even if your words say, "I'm fine." Aligning these signals with your message is key. Imagine discussing a tough topic with a partner. If your voice is calm but your fists are clenched, they'll feel the tension. Practice matching your posture and pitch to your intent. It's like tuning an instrument for harmony. Studies in nonverbal communication suggest that up to 70% of meaning comes from these cues, not the script. Getting this right takes mindfulness, checking yourself mid-talk to ensure you're sending the signal you mean to. Communication isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a living process. Be open to pushback. If a colleague says you came off sharp, don't bristle. Consider it. Admitting a misstep, "I didn't mean to sound curt, let's try that again," shows growth, not weakness. It's a muscle you flex daily, from casual chats to big talks. Mess up, learn, and tweak. Over time, this sharpens your emotional control, turning potential flare-ups into chances to bond. Picture a disagreement with a sibling. Instead of shouting, you listen, state your piece clearly, and adjust your tone. The result? Less heat, more light. It's a journey, not a race, and each step smooths your path to non-reactive strength. Chapter 14. De-escalating conflicts effectively. When conflicts flare up, as they inevitably do, your ability to cool the situation can shape its outcome, turning a potential explosion into a manageable moment. De-escalation isn't about claiming victory or dodging the issue. It's about steering a tense encounter toward calm and clarity. The first step is staying composed, which sounds simple but feels like climbing a mountain when tempers run hot. Your steadiness can be contagious, subtly nudging the other person to mirror your calm. Picture a heated argument with a coworker over a missed deadline. Your even tone and relaxed posture can signal safety, lowering their defenses. Research shows that calm behavior in conflicts reduces aggression, as emotions often sync between people like a shared rhythm. Listening is your next tool, and it's more than just hearing words. In the thick of a dispute, it's tempting to mentally rehearse your comeback, but that blocks understanding. Focus on what they're saying, their frustration, their point, without judging it. Say a friend's upset because you forgot a plan. Instead of defending yourself, nod and hear them out. "I can see why you're hurt." This validates their feelings, not your mistake, and it softens the air. Empathy here is key. It shows you're not the enemy, just someone trying to get it. Studies suggest that feeling heard can drop emotional intensity by half, paving the way for reason over reaction. Your words matter too, choose them with care. Absolutes like "you always" or "you never" are gasoline on a fire, making people dig in. Instead, use I statements to own your side without pointing fingers. In that friend scenario, try "I feel bad about missing our plan. It wasn't my intent," over "you're overreacting." It's less confrontational, keeping the focus on feelings, not blame. Then toss out a solution. "How about we set a new date?" This shows you're invested in fixing things, not prolonging the fight. Conflict experts note that collaborative language, words like "we" or "let's," cuts hostility, as it frames you as partners, not rivals. The goal isn't always to solve the issue on the spot. Sometimes it's just about keeping things from boiling over. Imagine a family spat where voices rise. You can't untangle years of baggage in one go, but you can lower the heat by staying cool, listening, and suggesting a breather. "Let's talk more tomorrow." That pause can save bridges from burning. It's not suppressing your own emotions, you're feeling the anger or hurt, but channeling them into control, not chaos. Mastering this skill proves that non-reaction isn't passivity. It's a deliberate act of strength, turning stormy moments into chances for connection and calm. Chapter 15. Setting healthy boundaries. Navigating life's complexities demands that you establish healthy boundaries to protect your emotional, physical, and mental well-being, a practice that's less about exclusion and more about carving out a space where you feel secure and respected. Boundaries aren't walls to shut people out. They're invisible lines you draw around yourself, marking where your comfort ends and others' demands begin. These lines reflect your values, needs, and limits, guiding how you let others treat you. Picture a friend who constantly vents, draining your energy. Without a boundary, you might stew in resentment. With one, you might say, "I care, but I need a break after 20 minutes." It's not rejection, it's self-preservation that boosts your freedom and self-worth. Creating these boundaries starts with knowing yourself. Tune into what you feel, what lifts you up, what wears you down. Maybe you're fine with late-night chats until they cut into sleep, or you tolerate teasing until it stings. Pinpointing what's okay and what's not, say lending money versus being a constant ATM, lays the groundwork. This self-awareness is your compass. Then share those limits clearly and kindly. If a coworker keeps piling tasks on you, try, "I can't take this on today, but I'll help tomorrow." It's firm, not harsh. Saying no isn't selfish, it's a right. Research shows that clear boundaries reduce stress and burnout as they guard your energy like a filter. Respecting others' boundaries is just as vital, a two-way street of mutual care. If a sibling needs space after a fight, honor it even if you're itching to talk. Understanding their limits builds trust and keeps resentment at bay. It's not about control, it's about balance. Picture a parent who guilt trips you into every holiday visit. Respecting your boundary might mean agreeing to some, not all. This give and take strengthens ties, proving boundaries aren't barriers but bridges to healthier dynamics. Experts say this reciprocity fosters empathy, as you see others' needs as valid as your own. Setting boundaries can feel daunting, especially if you're used to pleasing everyone. Maybe you dread pushback. A boss might grumble, a friend might sulk. That fear's real, but don't let it stop you. It's not about their approval, it's about your well-being. Start small. "I can't chat now, let's catch up later." With practice, it gets easier. Think of it like flexing a muscle. Awkward at first, stronger with use. A boundary might spark a tense moment, but it's a sign of self-respect, not conflict. Over time, it shields you from emotional overload, grounding you in a calm that curbs impulsive reactions and proves your strength lies in knowing your worth. Chapter 16. Managing Stress and Anxiety. While carving out healthy boundaries lays a strong foundation for self-care, learning to handle stress and anxiety is equally crucial for sustaining your overall health and peace of mind. These forces can swamp you if left unchecked. Tight chest, racing thoughts, a gnawing unease that colors everything gray. Unmanaged, they don't just rattle your nerves, they can spark headaches, sap your energy, or even strain your heart over time. One potent way to tame them is through mindfulness, staying rooted in the present, instead of replaying yesterday's fumbles or fretting over tomorrow's unknowns. It's about noticing your tension without judgment, letting it sit there like a guest you don't have to entertain, rather than wrestling it into a reaction. Mindfulness works because it breaks the spiral. Say a looming deadline has you jittery. Your mind might race to "I'll fail" or "I'm not enough." Instead, pause, feel the knot in your gut, and name it. This is anxiety. Then let it drift, focusing on your breath or the hum of the room. Studies show this cuts cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 20%, easing your body's alarm mode. It's not a cure-all, but a tether to now, keeping you from tipping into panic. Pair this with smart habits. Exercise, like a brisk walk, pumps endorphins, nature's mood lifters. Balanced meals fuel steady energy, and solid sleep resets your brain. Skimp on these and stress festers. Science links poor sleep alone to a 30% spike in anxiety. How you see things shapes how they hit you. A traffic jam isn't just a delay, it's how you frame it. "I'm doomed" ramps up your pulse. It's a chance to think, dials it down. This isn't ignoring reality. Delays happen, but choosing a lens that doesn't amplify the strain. Cognitive reframing, backed by research, can slash anxiety by shifting focus from threat to opportunity. A tough talk with a boss, not a disaster but a moment to grow. It's like turning down the volume on a blaring radio, still there, less loud. Over time, this builds a buffer, softening stress into something you manage, not something that manages you. When it's too much, say sleepless nights or a pounding heart that won't quit, don't go it alone. Reaching out to a therapist or counselor isn't a defeat, it's a power move. They're like guides in a maze, offering tools, breathing tricks, thought patterns to navigate the chaos. One study found 75% of people who seek help see real relief within weeks. It's not weakness to lean on expertise, it's claiming your right to thrive. Managing stress and anxiety is a trek, not a sprint. Each mindful breath, each reframed worry, each night of rest is a step toward a calmer you, proving that control comes from tending to yourself, not fighting the tide. Chapter 17. Developing Patience and Tolerance. Mastering patience and tolerance often proves as vital to your well-being as taming stress and anxiety. offering a steady anchor when life's currents pull hard. These qualities aren't about swallowing your feelings or pretending all's well. They're about understanding your emotions and choosing not to let them steer you into rash moves. It's accepting that you can't bend everything to your will, but you can shape how you meet it. Patience means embracing that growth. Healing or change unfold on their own clock, not yours. You can't rush a wound to close or force a skill to bloom overnight. It's not just waiting, but trusting the process with an active calm, like a gardener who knows seeds need time to sprout. Tolerance pairs with this, a willingness to sit with life's messiness. Things won't always align with your plans, and that's not a flaw. A delayed flight, a friend's sharp mood, a project gone sideways. These can chafe, but tolerance lets you roll with them instead of bristling. It's not resignation, it's peace with the unknown, a refusal to let discomfort shove you into a snap reaction. Think of a slow cashier when you're rushed. Impatience might spark a curt word, but tolerance sees they're trying, maybe juggling a tough day. Studies tie this flexibility to lower blood pressure and better coping, as it softens the urge to fight what you can't fix. Building these starts with facing your feelings head-on. Next time impatience flares, say stuck in line, don't shove it down, spot it, I'm antsy. Then dig in, why? Is it the weight or a deeper itch, like feeling out of control? Same with intolerance. Maybe a co-worker's loud chewing grates because you're already stretched thin. Naming and probing these sparks awareness, the first crack in their hold. Mindfulness helps here too. Stay in the moment. Feel the floor under your feet, hear the hum around you, and the urge to rush or judge fades. Research shows this presence cuts impulsive reactions by grounding you in what's real, not what's imagined. It's a slow build, not a switch. Picture a kid tugging your sleeve while you're busy. Patience might slip, and that's okay. Notice it, reset, try again. I'll help in a sec. Tolerance grows too. Maybe a neighbor's noise once drove you nuts, but now you shrug, knowing it's temporary. Each try strengthens your grip on calm. It's not about never feeling the itch, it's choosing not to scratch it raw. Over time, this duo, patience and tolerance, becomes your quiet strength, a shield against life's jolts, proving that non-reaction thrives when you let go of the need to force or fix everything. Chapter 18. Practicing self-compassion regularly. To truly harness the strength of not reacting, weaving self-compassion into your daily life is essential, a practice that goes beyond mere kindness to become a bedrock of emotional resilience and mental peace. It's not just about giving yourself a pat on the back. It's recognizing that your struggles and stumbles are part of being human, shared by everyone in some form. Embracing this opens a door to a healthier mind, shifting how you face life's rough patches. Self-compassion means meeting your pain with warmth and understanding, not harsh critique, like wrapping yourself in a soft blanket instead of a lash. It's loving yourself, imperfections and all, and seeing that this love fuels your ability to weather storms. This isn't abstract fluff, it's a practical tool. When you falter, say a sharp word slips out in stress, self-compassion steps in. Instead of "I'm awful," try "I slipped, but I'm trying, it's okay." It's the comfort you'd offer a friend who messed up, turned inward. Research shows this cuts stress by 25%, soothing your nervous system like a balm. It's not ignoring the mistake, it's holding space for it without letting it define you. You're not alone in this. Everyone trips, from spilling coffee to missing deadlines. Seeing your flaws as universal, not unique failures, lifts the shame that fuels knee-jerk reactions, grounding you in grace. Regular practice reshapes you. Set aside a moment daily, maybe over coffee, to check in. What's on your mind? A fumble at work, a fight with a loved one. Name it, then soften it. That stung, but I'm human. Swap. I'm such a failure, for I'm learning. Tough days don't erase me. Studies say this builds emotional intelligence, helping you spot feelings, anger, sadness, without leaping to act on them. It's like a quiet chat with yourself, fostering a bond that echoes outward. The relationship you nurture here sets the tone for all others. Treat yourself well, and you'll meet the world with steadier hands. This takes time, like honing a craft. Start small, miss a goal, and instead of stewing, say "I'm enough even now." Feel the ache, say guilt over a snubbed friend, but don't drown in it. Offer yourself patience. "I'll fix it when I can." Don't inflate or shrink your emotions. Just let them flow unjudged. Over months, this builds a resilience that's not shaken by every gust. A bad review at work? You'll feel it, but self-compassion whispers, "It's feedback, not my worth." It's not dodging pain, it's cradling it, proving that non-reaction grows when you're gentle with yourself, turning inner battles into quiet strength. Chapter 19. Overcoming Past Emotional Trauma. You might carry emotional scars tucked away in quiet corners of your mind, but facing them is a crucial step to fully wield the power of not reacting. This isn't about letting old wounds swallow you whole. It's about understanding their echoes, mastering your responses to them, and paving a path to healing. Unpacking these buried hurts can feel like untangling a knotted rope, daunting and messy, but it's a vital move towards self-discovery and peace. You're not digging up the past to wallow. You're tracing how it shapes your now, why a sharp word from a boss might hit harder than it should, or why a friend's silence stings like abandonment. Your history isn't you, but it whispers in your reactions. Begin by owning your feelings. They're real and they count. Maybe a childhood snub still prickles, or a broken trust from years back flares up in odd moments. Don't shove them down. Say, "This hurts and that's valid." Then hunt for the roots. Was it a parent's cold shoulder? A betrayal by someone you leaned on? Pinpointing the source, say, "A memory of being dismissed at 10 lights the way to control." It's not instant. It's patient work, like sifting through old photos to find one that explains a faded mark. Studies show that naming trauma's origins cuts its grip by 30%, as awareness dulls its stealth power over your emotions. Healing means reframing, not reliving. A past rejection might scream, "I'm unlovable," but you can shift it. That was their choice. I'm more than that moment. You're not your pain's product. You're bigger, a canvas still painting itself. This takes grit. Those old stories cling tight, but each reframed thought chips at their hold. Say a breakup left you raw. Instead of, "I failed," try, "I grew through it." Research ties this to lower anxiety, as it rewires your brain to see scars as strength, not shame. It's slow, like mending a torn shirt. Stitch by stitch, it holds again. Regulation seals the deal. A trigger hits, maybe a raised voice, and your pulse jumps. Don't leap. Step back, breathe deep, feel the surge, then choose. I'm rattled, but I'll speak calm. That pause, backed by science, short-circuits the old reflex, giving you the wheel. Picture a tense family dinner where past jabs lurk. Your gut tightens, but you nod, sip water, and reply steady. Healing's a trek, not a leap. Each controlled response turns shadows into stepping stones. You're not alone. This is your power, a quiet triumph over yesterday, building a you that's whole, not haunted. Chapter 20. Embracing Imperfections and Mistakes. You're not alone in wrestling with your flaws or dreading missteps. Everyone grapples with this, a universal thread of humanity that takes guts to face. Embracing your imperfections and mistakes isn't about dodging them with quick defenses or sharp reactions. It's about welcoming them as part of your story, a chance to grow stronger and wiser. This shift, choosing acceptance over resistance, hands you the reins to your resilience, letting you move forward with poise instead of panic. Recognizing that you're not perfect isn't just a nod to self-betterment. It's a shield against life's knocks, a way to stand tall when things go sideways. Your quirks and fumbles don't pin down who you are. They're brushstrokes, not the whole picture. Maybe you're quick to interrupt or shy away from risks. Those traits don't cage you. How you handle them does. Accepting them means saying, "I'm a work in progress," and that's fine. It's freeing, like shedding a too tight coat. You're human. Spill the milk, miss the mark, and learn from it. Studies show this mindset boosts grit. People who own their limits bounce back faster from setbacks. It's not settling. It's seeing your rough edges without a wince, using them to steer your life with clearer eyes. Failure's shadow can loom large, rooted in a hunger for flawlessness. A botched presentation might whisper, "I'm not enough." But that's a lie. Imperfection isn't inadequacy. It's proof you're in the game. Shift the lens. Mistakes aren't dead ends. They're detours to wisdom. Say you flub a deadline, don't dread it, dissect it. What tripped you up? Too much on your plate? A skill to sharpen? This turns fear into fuel. Research links this view to lower stress. Seeing stumbles as lessons disarms their bite, letting you tackle tasks with guts, not dread. When you slip, snap at a friend, burn the toast. Don't sink into regret's quicksand. Reflect. What went wrong? Next time I'll pause. Then let it go. You're not your flubs. You're how you rise from them. Picture a kid learning to bike. Falls don't stop them, they teach balance. Embrace that. A typo in an email isn't weakness, it's a nudge to proofread. This builds a quiet courage, stepping past comfort into growth. Each owned mistake, each hugged flaw, edges you closer to non-reaction's power. Emotions steady, mind clear, a life balanced not by perfection, but by the grace to be real. Chapter 21. Developing a growth mindset. On your journey to master the art of not reacting, embracing a growth mindset becomes a cornerstone, a transformative way to bolster emotional resilience and reshape how you face life's twists. It's about believing your abilities aren't carved in stone, but can stretch and strengthen through effort, persistence, and even the stumbles along the way. This isn't a quick fix, it's a lens shift. From fixating on outcomes to savoring the process, from chasing perfection to valuing progress. At first, it might feel like a stretch, especially if you're wired to see limits as fixed. But lean in. It's a game changer, turning hurdles into stepping stones and reactions into reflections. This mindset thrives on seeing challenges as chances, not threats. A tough project at work? Not a trap to fail, but a puzzle to crack. It's not dodging the hard stuff, it's diving in, knowing you'll come out sharper. Feedback stings sometimes. A mentor's critique might bruise, but here it's gold, not a gavel. Studies show growth-minded folks thrive on input, their brains lighting up with curiosity, not defensiveness. It's effort that counts, not just raw smarts. Talent's a spark, hard work's the fire. Picture a skill you've nailed. Cooking, maybe. It didn't come instant. It grew through burned pans and patience. That's the blueprint. Setbacks aren't stops, they're part of the climb. Resilience ties tight to this view. It's not pretending life's all smooth, but meeting the rough with bounce. Emotions hit, say frustration over a stalled goal, but you don't drown in them. You feel it, name it, let it pass, knowing it's fuel for growth. Start with awareness. Catch your reactions. A missed chance might spark, "I'm no good." Pause. Swap it for, "I'll get there with practice." Self-compassion helps too. Slip-ups don't brand you, they're pit stops. Research ties this to lower cortisol. You're not fighting yourself, just guiding. Then keep a spark alive. Hope. A rejection letter? Not the end, just a nudge to tweak your pitch. Challenges forge you, not foil you. Put it to work daily. See a snag as a lesson, not a loss. Spill coffee on a report? You've learned to cap the mug. Curiosity drives this. Ask, what's new here, when life shifts? A co-worker's idea outshines yours. Probe it. Grow from it. Your mind's not locked. It's a garden, sprouting with effort. Don't duck critique. Grab it. Shape it into better. It's not instant. Patience is your ally. But the hall's rich. Calmer emotions, tougher spine, doors swinging wide. A growth mindset isn't just talk. It's your quiet power, rooting non-reaction in the faith that you're always unfolding, never finished. Chapter 22. Maintaining emotional balance. Commanding your emotions lets you forge a steady emotional balance, a state that not only lifts your mental well-being, but also anchors you in the practice of responding, not reacting, to life's ups and downs. This equilibrium isn't about dodging feelings. It's about holding a calm center, like the still eye of a hurricane while chaos swirls. It's your shield against impulsive outbursts, a place where you meet challenges with clarity, not clutter. First, know your triggers. What flips your switch? A snarky comment from a sibling? A pile-up of chores? Spotting these, say, how a late reply twists your gut, lets you map them, then tame them with tailored moves like stepping back or shifting focus. Mindfulness keeps you here, locked in the moment, not lost in yesterday's spat or tomorrow's what-ifs. A deadline looms and panic nibbles. Feel your chair, hear your breath, stay now. This clips the wings of worry, grounding you. Studies show it drops stress by 15%, as presence dulls the edge of runaway thoughts. You can't control the flood, traffic, moods, news, but you can steer your boat. Self-care's your oar. Eat clean, think greens, not grease, move your body, a jog or stretch, and sleep deep, 7 hours minimum. Skimp here, and your mood wobbles. Science links poor diet to a 20% mood dip. Your body's a partner, not a bystander in this balance. Don't cork your emotions, let them flow, but smart. A friend's jab hurts? Feel it, maybe journal it, then release it. Don't stew till it bursts. Suppressing's a time bomb. Expression's a valve. Picture a tough day, yell into a pillow if you must, but don't let it fester into a snap at dinner. This control's not cold, it's alive, a dance of feeling and choosing. Say work piles on, your chest tightens, but you breathe, prioritize, act. Balance isn't static, it's a rhythm you build, step by step. Research ties this to better decisions. Emotions inform, not overrun when you're steady. Arm yourself, triggers mapped, breath deep, mindset growing, flaws owned. You're the captain, not the storm. A rude stranger? Pause, not pounce. Your peace holds. Gratitude crowns it. Thank the sun, a kind word, a steady heartbeat, and balance reigns. Picture a spat with a partner. Old you might have flared. New you listens, breathes, speaks firm but fair. It's not perfection. It's power, a calm that doesn't crack. This isn't the end. It's your launch. A life where emotions bend to your will, not the reverse, proving non-reaction strength is yours to wield.